And we're pretty excited about this one, aren't we, Chris? In the Prince Philip, you were just saying the quality of the junior events so strong. Kinross Wolaroi School, Australia, up against Godolphin and Latymer School.
Yeah, certainly a race I've been looking forward to. I've had the pleasure of commentating some fantastic Kinross races back home over the course of this season, and I know they're all very, very excited to be here. Up against Godolphin and Latymer, who had a great win against Kingston Grammar yesterday. 2 1/4 lengths the margin in that one.
And a little steering correction there from the crew on the right-hand side. They're just straightening up now, but we can see this incredibly strong crew from Kinross Wolaroi. Of course, they had a cracking season, absolutely dominant, but probably a little bit surprised at the National Championships with the result there.
Yeah, so they won the New South Wales State Championships, the head of the river, in what was, I think, the best schoolgirl race I've ever had the privilege of calling. And then the Nationals competed in quite a few events, and I think were just a bit over-raced by the time they got to the final on Sunday afternoon. So perhaps that's really good learning coming over here to Henley. But their first trip, or first lap out on the course for all of the girls in this crew from the central west of New South Wales.
And they've still got the rate right up. I think if I was the Cox at this point, I'd be just calling them down and telling them to relax and enjoy this race, because it is a long week. They're going to have to get up for each race, so you really want to start conserving some energy here. But they're looking very dominant. Maybe struggling just a little bit with the rolly water. It's incredibly difficult conditions. It looks, or on this course generally speaking, it looks and gives the illusion that it's flat water, but it is really rolly. There's lots of motorboats and pleasure craft out there, and so it is really tricky water that feels like it's always moving underneath you, doesn't it?
Yeah, certainly. And for this Kinross crew as well, they have the privilege of having beautiful water to row on back home. They've got essentially a private reservoir just outside of Orange, and no motorboats or pleasure craft are allowed on that water. So a little bit of a new experience for them, although did have some challenging conditions to battle with in at the National Championships in Tasmania. Had a good stint training at Marlow Rowing Club over the last week, so a little bit acclimatised to the water.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to bring the first Kinross crew to ever race at Henley in 2019 in the Diamond Jubilee, and bringing the girls after training on Spring Creek there near Orange in New South Wales, bringing them to train on the Thames was quite a shock, but they got used to it very quickly. But yeah, when you've got a piece of water that's essentially your own, you don't really have to worry about things like booms like we can see here. But doing a very good job. The coxswain of the Kinross crew, Philippa Martin, she knows what she's doing. She's got good control, good line down the crew. Still a fight coming from their competitors, Godolphin and Latymer School, which are on the left-hand side of your screen. But I think this is a very, very significant lead now for Kinross Wolaroi School. So those of you joining us from the central west of New South Wales and from Australia, no doubt you'll be delighted to see the girls looking very strong in this first round of the Prince Philip Challenge Trophy.
Still with the rate up there, the girls from Kinross. So at this point, Martin will probably start to be talking to them about conserving a little bit of energy. But at the same time, not racing yesterday, they getting a run down the track's important. Rowing with the triple bucket rig.
We were talking about a double bucket yesterday on the commentary, but it's been a while since I've seen the old triple bucket. You can see, and what we're talking about there is the rigging of the boat. We get a great shot there from above of the two crews. On the right-hand side, the Godolphin and Upper Latymer School has what you'd call a traditional rig or a standard rig, where each rower alternates the side their blade is on. Stroke seat rows on stroke side. Whereas in the Kinross crew on the left-hand side of your screen, you can see stroke seats on stroke side, but then the two rowers behind her are on the same side on bow side, the next two are on the same side on stroke side, and the next two are on bow side together. So that's it's quite tricky to row in a bucket, I've found.
Yeah, it certainly is. It certainly is. It suits different people differently. I always found it quite difficult. I found it really difficult to row behind a bucket when you've got a gap in front of you. But yeah, from what I've heard, they put a bucket in early in the season. It went better. And they thought, let's put a second one in. It went better. I thought, oh, let's put a third one in, and it went better. It seems to be working for them. They've had it in there for quite some time now.
And the reason you do that is to have the right rowers in the right seats, because each seat plays a really critical and important role in the boat. So there's some strategy around that too. But coming down to the line with a great first run down the track, it's Kinross Wolaroi School from Australia taking out this round of the Prince Philip Challenge Cup over Godolphin and Latymer School.